Welcome to the game. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are in the middle of ZynVaded week part 2. I hope you are enjoying it as much as I am, because this is a fantastic game. Fantastic models, fun to paint, fun to play. We're continuing building our models. We're kind of doing them all the same way. Today we're going to build a sniper. So let's get to it, and I will show you what we're doing. Okay, so here's the sniper model that we're going to build, and you see that we're going to do a little cleanup. So the tools that we're going to use: super glue. I use a Gorilla super glue because I like it and it works really well for me and this resin. You're going to need a hobby knife, which you can get from any craft store, even Dollar General, I think, carries some hobby knives. I don't know if they're any good. I haven't bought one from there, but I do know I've seen them there. Yeah, I did break the tip off. When you use these, make sure you have adult supervision. I don't know if I said that in the others. Kids, don't use knives. Get your parents to help you. Don't get mad at me if you cut yourself. Just be very careful and you'll be fine. Stiff brush. Use this for brushing, just kind of brushing off some of the loose pieces, like you can see right here, this is actually trash, but you can see this little piece hanging off with a brush. Run that over and it'll knock it off rather than trying to, scrape it off that way. So brush is usually helpful. Clippers with a flat edge. These are Army Painter. They have flat edge on one side, and we're going to use these to cut with. And I use green stuff. This again you can get from actually you can get all of this from your friendly local gaming store. Recommend you go check them out. I'll explain the green stuff when we get there. Okay, so we're going to need to clip him off. The model himself, he's actually only 3 pieces, and then there's this piece that'll sit into the base. So when we do this, we want to use our clippers to cut as close and as flat against the model as possible. Now sometimes that's not easy to do. Like his foot here, I really want to be flat up against his foot so I can cut as much of that off as possible, but I can't really get to it. And so I'm going to cut that part of the sprue off so that I can get to him a little easier. So now that we've separated him from the bigger sprue, I want to be able to get in here and get flat. I don't want to cut that peg off. That peg is actually going to sit in this hole, but I do want to get the rest of this off. So getting as flat as I can against the model, but not going too far, because like I said, I want to cut that peg off. So just tip right there. I'll cut gently until it comes off. The rest of that we're going to get with our hobby knife. Okay. Now, again, it doesn't have to be perfect because that's actually going to sit flat on the bottom. No one's ever going to be able to see that. Now, this foot, they will see because it's going to be up. So again, we want to get as flat as we can. So you see the flatness of his foot. We use the flat side of my blade here. I'll do it as flat as I can, and I'm going to clip it off. Now, I don't know if you saw that, it went flying, it went that way. So I usually put my finger over the end of that so that it keeps it from flying, but I didn't. I did that just to show you what would happen. I'm going to show my vacuum cleaner, I can find that later. Okay, and with that, I'll clean up his foot a little bit. And this piece right here, again, flat up against the model. Clip off, and then we use our blade to clean that up. And when you use the blade, don't ever cut towards you like this, unless you like really bloody and scarred up fingers. Ask anybody who's been doing this for a long time. Bloody fingers hurt. So when you do it, scrape away from yourself, cut away from yourself. And this is where your brush comes in. Just run that in there. That'll help knock some of that really loose stuff out. All right. Now, if you see anything that doesn't look like it belongs, or mold lines are where the two molds come together. When they come out, sometimes there is a line of, you'll see a line that you need to clean off. I think this looks pretty good. Let's see what else we got. All right. Here, straight up against the gun barrel, flat. Flip that off. Right here. Flip that off. Right here. That off. Okay, I'm going to keep cleaning this up. I'm just going to keep filming, and I'm going to speed this up so, otherwise we're going to be here for 20 minutes doing this. So, anyway, be back in a second. Okay, now that we have all of our pieces cleaned up, now I always want to kind of dry fit to make sure everything fits how you're going to want it to fit. It's going to kind of sit like that. Not too much. Right. And how his gun is going to sit. Now, this piece of the arm is going to fit right there. That piece will fit right there. Okay. Alright, so green stuff. I use this primarily to help hold models together while the glue dries. It's literally all I use this for. Sometimes as a gap filler if there's a problem or a hole in models or something, but pretty much that's all this is ever used for. It is a two-part epoxy. All you got to do is cut off equal parts of red and green, or red and yellow, and red and yellow, or red. Where did the red come from? Blue and yellow. Cut off equal parts of the blue and blue and yellow make green when you mix it up. So that's all we're doing here. Is we just mix this up, mix it together, we'll squish it. It's a little sticky, which is fine. That's what we want. You have about 30 minutes before this is kind of useless, give or take. It just kind of depends. Once it's mixed together, the epoxy is working, and it will become a very, very hard epoxy. It's not like plastic or anything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put his gun on first. And knowing that it's going to join here and here, I'm going to cut off a little piece of green stuff, not a ton. And I'm just going to smash it into there. And cut off. I'm going to stick it down into here. Now, what that's going to do is when I push it in here, that's going to help hold the two pieces together. Otherwise, depending on what your super glue you're using, I use Gorilla Glue because I like it and it works really well for me. But it does take a little bit for it to set. And depending on your temperature and things like that, determines how long it's going to take for the super glue to actually set so that you can let it go. The green stuff accelerates your let go time, does not accelerate the time for it to cure or anything like that, but it does help you get into position so you don't have to hold it anymore. Okay, getting those two places in position, give it a good push. And notice I don't really have to hold it because the green stuff's going to hold it for me. And that's part of the reason I really like using the green stuff. Now I can kind of see how he's going to sit on his legs, and like that. So I'm going to use green stuff again. Just stick it in there. Now when you put your super glue, again, don't go crazy with your super glue, but put enough on it so that it touches both the resin and the green stuff. If you only put on the green stuff, you're only going to glue the green stuff. And then if you drop a nozzle or something, there's nothing holding it but that green stuff, and it will come apart. I know from experience. Okay, we'll smash that in there. Okay. You should feel that green stuff kind of squish in place to help hold. And there you go. Now I'm just going to go ahead and set him on his base here, so that we can set him still to let him dry. The last adjustments, the green stuff does give you just a little bit of wiggle room. Alright, and there he goes. Da-da-da. A sniper ready to snipe. He's got his hand up, listening to his ear when Sarge is over here yelling. He's like, Sarge, I can't hear you. There's too much gunfire going on. Alright, so there you go. So while it doesn't really matter, since this is our third model of our starter set, we have a Sarge, we have a heavy gunner, and we have a sniper, our scout, and whatnot. It doesn't matter which ones it are. I mean, I'm just going to build them all, and then I'll figure out which ones I want to be which. But technically, you have a complete combat team right here, and let them dry, and you're ready to go. And you're ready to start playing. I'm going to build the other 3 models, and it doesn't matter which ones. The kill all and the save them. That's the cool thing about it. Is the factions split, so it doesn't really matter which models you use for your heavy gunners, because you get 2 different ones. They're all posed differently. Not one is the kill all, one is the save them. It's whichever ones you want it to be. So that's kind of cool. It lets you play around with it a little bit. So you pick the 3 models you like as a kill all. You pick the 3 you like as a save them. That's it. I mean, Sniper was put together. We're at 15 minutes. As always, thanks for watching. Again, I hope you're enjoying ZynVaded Week Part 2. Go back and watch all of our ZynVaded Week 1 videos from December during Kickstarter. Hopefully the Pledge Manager is open about the time we're doing these videos, so that if you missed it, you can jump in on it. If you did, you don't have a 2-player starter pack, hopefully this will help you to decide to get one, because fantastic game. It's a lot of fun. Really fun models, very fun to paint. Painting videos are coming up for these 6 models that we're building out of our starter box. So, as always, thanks for watching. Leave me a comment. Please like, subscribe. It really helps out. And as always, have a great evening. Bye now.